Up at police headquarters for a very special occasion day. It's 50 years that the IoM dog service has been running in here, and we've now got an interesting situation because we've got the old and the new as such. 50 years ago you were there.
I was, yes. I was a dog handler for about 8 years, from 66 onwards. And I was the second dog handler, Henry Corlett being the first. In those days, they only allowed you to have one dog, and after the dog's life had finished, working life had finished, I had to go back to the beat, and I left shortly afterwards, actually.
And what was it like then, being the pioneers of having dogs in the actual police force?
Well, we didn't have any vehicles, we walked, and I spent most of my time around the Palace Lido or at the Rendezvous Cafe at the Greensills Corner, where a lot of people used to congregate, and then eventually we got a van, and we used to go to any incident that we wanted to. If there's any incident where we thought the dog was handy, we used to attend.
And Gianni, I mean, these days it's a bit slicker, would it be, or is it the same old, same old?
I'm sure it's not slicker. It's just going to be different, isn't it? You know, what these guys have done has obviously been brought forward to the current day. You know, and we've followed the roots, you could say. And obviously, there's been developments with the type of things perhaps we search for. I mean, you could correct me. I don't know. I mean, we've got a lot of cash searching now, firearm searching, explosives. Obviously, the drug stuff was always there. And maybe the training techniques have changed a little bit, but I suppose the principles are still there.
Well, we did very little of the searching aspects of it. It was mainly crowd control and tracking, really. That was about all that we were trained for at the time. We didn't have the drug problem in those days either, you know, so it wasn't as necessary. But I'm sure it's developed from then to what they have now.
And a question for you both, really, is, I mean, the dogs you use, they are working dogs, but you must have a tremendous bond with them over their working life. Is that a hard thing then to, you know, when it's time for them to retire, is it hard to move on?
Well, it is to a degree, but they allow you to keep the dog, or they usually do. I kept mine for a while until it died. Mm-hmm. You do develop a bond, and with the family. Mm. I used to dread my wife coming down the street because he liked her better than like me, I think. She used to jump up in, and it wasn't good for the image, you know.
And Gianni, I mean, you've had quite a few dogs, and you keep them at home, don't you, still?
Yeah, we still keep them home like the guys used to, I've retired one shepherd already and brought on a new one. And yeah, it is hard. You do get that bond, and I think with your first dog especially. I mean, I know back then they only had one dog, like you say. Now, you know, we're fortunate that we progress and we have one dog and we become a bit more experienced. We take on another one, but letting go of that first dog, I've realised, and as speaking with other handlers, it's difficult to let go because they are part of the family. But at the end of the day, as I think everyone here will agree with me, they are a tool and they're here to do a job. And they do a fantastic job, you know, and they love it as well. You know, they do it because they love it.